And we are live! Hi, everybody!
Hello, everybody.
Sorry, I got a bunch of YouTube questionnaire. Give me a second. Overall, what motivates me to make content? Gain fame. Okay, this is great. Have fun, connect with friends and family, other people, gain fame and popularity, support an existing business, build a community of people with similar interests, share my passion with others. Oh, that's hard, because simultaneously building community is of utmost importance, but also sharing my passion with others is very much a part of that.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like for streaming though specifically, like it's so much community.
Yeah, that's true. How interested are you in earning money as a content creator on YouTube? Very interested. Okay. Just a little bit, just a tad. Let me pull up. Stream health is good. Okay, hi everybody. Ray, good to glad to have you. Light, good to glad to have you. Ray, good to glad to have you. Kiko, good to glad to have you. Sarah, good to glad to have you. Demins, good to glad to have you. Finally didn't show up late to 2 hours late. Hey, Demins. Progress. Kiko, a wave to you as well. Lolly ho. Good morning, Sarah. Hello, lovely people. Hello, Ray. Good morning, Ray. Your fun fact of the announcement made me cackle. I missed what Ray's announcement fact was because, of course, Ray said something hilarious. Back in 1992, a new Japanese word, bushusura, is coined after American President George H.W. Bush publicly vomits on the Prime Minister of Japan during a formal state dinner.
Oh, yeah.
The word literally means to do the bush thing? I mean, yeah, bushusura, like literally bush to do, or to vomit in public. But Elio and Nadiri are too busy playing Final Fantasy V to notice.
Well, Ray was right about that part.
That's kind of amazing. How y'all doing? How's audio? Gonna get an audio check? Woo. Okay, let's bump that. Clap. Let me know if the clap was heard. And then also, audio is good. Okay, audio good on this end. Cool. Light delay. Let me see if I can make our delay a little better. Nope. Okay, sorry, 6 hours a little latency. So we're good. Okay. Hello, Naniri, my friend.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am quite all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've had a rough few days. Ever the clinical depression hits most when you need to get work done. But beyond that, I'm doing today's a little bit better. And honestly, it's easier to like carry on with the doing stuff than it is to be stuck. But yeah, we're on to our next part of Final Fantasy V. And what? Last time, Galuf died. We lost Galuf. Do you want to give a little bit of an overview of some of the stuff that went down?
Yeah, we lost Galuf. He died as a hero, fighting against our big bad Exdeath. And we got his daughter, Kryl, who has some fantastic outfits for her jobs. And is overall a really charming character. Of course, we are very sad about Galuf. He is one of the more standout, in fact, probably the standout side character that we've seen so far in our journey.
Yeah, as our journey through 5 has been pretty shocked by that level of characterization. Because I could imagine in a lesser version of the game, him just being like, basically another Tella. And I like Tella, but like, not having that little extra zhuzh.
He definitely apes back to Tella and, even back to Minwei a little bit, but on a more refined level than either of them. He's almost a little bit, while he is still almost cartoonish in his actions, he has a groundedness that Tella didn't have.
Okay. And as per usual, we will talk about how we definitely want a remake of 5 in 3D, which I do.
Yeah, I think this game is, like we've said before, like I'm definitely on the 2 needs a remake as well, because I think 2 has a lot of potential that is unexecuted. But I think 5 has a lot of potential that is executed on, but could be better in a 3D remake, or even a 2D remake if you wanted to go like really intense with it, like Octopath Traveler type stuff. In terms of execution.
I mean, yeah, I would take an Octopath Traveler version. I think a lot of people have rumbled about whether or not if they remade 6, whether they'd want a 3D remake a la Final Fantasy 7 or they want a Octopath style remake.
Yeah.
I personally would prefer 3D because I have a bias, but boy, I'll take an Octopath version.
I'll definitely take either. I understand why people, I think for a long time there was almost this, 2D games are underserved. I don't think that's true anymore. I think we have plenty of 2D games, but.
No, I mean, Pixel Revival was started like over a decade ago at this point. I'm pretty sure we've, the many indie darlings have at this point. Life has been brought back.
Yeah,
honestly, what I love now is the resurgence of like of demakes and stuff, creation of demakes and stuff, PS1, PS2 era styles.
I've got so one of my old friends, we're not really in contact anymore, but one of my old friends was friends with the maker of the Bloodborne kart game.
Oh yeah, I know her or them. They're that thing is awesome.
It is fantastic.
I've been following their work for a while.
I like
that stuff. That's like the preeminent version of a demake when I think of one.
Definitely. There's almost a democratization of game making, I feel, coming about now, where indie developers, while it's still an enormous dedication, of course, but where they're they're more able to make almost a name for themselves. And I'm not saying that the Bloodborne demake or Bloodborne kart are huge names or anything in the gaming sphere, but they.
I mean, I feel like they, among certain circles, they definitely have.
Yeah, I think definitely
have had some impact.
It's almost like a cult impact. Yeah, right. A demake.
I mean,
is like a step. I don't want to say a step down, but it's a step backwards in. So like taking a PS4 game and then making it in like the style of the PS1 or the PS2 or usually the PS1.
I will pull up some images to like give you an example of a Bloodborne demake. So if you've ever seen Bloodborne, so this is the Bloodborne demake. So it looks like a PlayStation 1 style game.
No, it's really charming.
And yeah, it is incredible. Like, there's an incredible amount of charm to it. The other thing is that gets missed is that, for instance, PS1, because of its really shallow rendering field, right? The reason we got Silent Hill is because they had to come up with a clever way to deal with a technical problem. And so I think one of the things that gets missed is that a demake, and not just in demaking, but also going back to old games and some of the things that they did, is that coming up with interesting dealing with limitations in an interesting way has created very interesting things.
I definitely think so.
Yeah. And so I'm definitely a fan of it. What a weird idea. I mean, to be fair though, it's people who have made 2D versions of 3D games, it's kind of the same idea. There can be a charm and a value to it for sure. Taking bets on how long I'll forget to get my Hot Pockets out of the air fryer. I'm gonna go with 5 minutes. Get your Hot Pockets out of the air fryer. But yeah, I also, it's another example of so there's demakes, but there's also kind of like retro styling. So for instance, let's say you made a game now that had a lot of the advantages of Unreal 5 or what have you, but its style was like Dark Cloud from the PlayStation 2 era. I mean, what is necessarily the difference between doing that and doing a 2D pixel game or doing a 2D, a 2D game? Now, the one is that by having lower polygon fidelity, you actually decrease the amount of work that you have to do as an artist to an extent. So like there actually are practical considerations as well, but beyond that, it's just that there's a lot of there can also be just a lot of charm to a specific style, even if it's the same way that like low poly is a style, right? Like people do 3D prints or whatever that are low poly.
Yeah, exactly. Normally I would chalk stuff like this up to nostalgia, and I obviously that's influential.
And there's definitely a part of it that's that.
Yeah, but I think there is almost I think these, because they're not like a full PS1, like it has the spirit of the PS1, but it's not, it's more detailed. The models are more detailed. They're in the same style, but it's almost an elevation because they can still execute those things on a higher level than the people developing for those consoles could. I see that we've done some Kryl grinding.
Just to well, Kryl I think inherits all of Galif's stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. Yes, that's right.
We'll make her our caster for the next bit. Actually, no, let's give her summons. Do I not have summoner leveled on her? Well, okay, we're gonna level summoner on her.
I guess we've been almost a little bit more physical with Galif.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense because of his. On the bright side, I can put her on summoner and then give her white magic.
Ooh.
Although, okay, again, I can't look at her in the fucking berserker outfit. Her eyes don't even reach past the top.
I love her outfits. They're so good. I like the star on the black mage. She's got like a little ornament.
Oh yeah, like the little green star. Oh, that's very cute. That's very, very cute. I wonder if, you know, that green star there, and we should talk about some of our Final Fantasy 14 theories while we're at it, but I wonder if any of these outfits will be part of the root inspiration for her presumable job change outfit.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So I'd really look forward to seeing that. I really want to see, because I was never that bothered by even in Stormblood, I was never like a big Kryl. I liked Kryl, but I was never like, oh, I can't wait to see Kryl again. But
I mean, it's hard to too, right? Because there's not a lot of times where she ever got to really shine.
Exactly, yeah. She's often almost more of a plot device. And then in Endwalker, you know, she really blooms as a character. She really blossoms. So I'm really excited to see her become more of a core member of the narrative.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, she still gets to shine there, but she's still in the shadow of a certain other character, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
But she, you know, she gets her chance to appeal more to the audience. I feel to show what she can do, not in a combat sense,
definitely have moments. Definitely would love having her in more of a combat sense as well in the future, as well as character sense. Hopefully she'll be more on the forefront.
Now, why are we fighting blind wolves?
I mean, why are we fighting enemies that are tears in the fissure of reality?
That's true. Apparently, the blind wolves do miss most of their attacks, which is very funny.
Again, this goes back to that FF5 charm, man. Like, just coming up with weird shit and throw. It feels like 5 threw shit at the wall, and then, but like, cause like 2 threw shit at the wall, you know. But like, it was less refined. It was
like throwing shit at the wall, not throwing stuff at the wall, almost.
Yeah, sometimes. There's a PlayStation 1 game I love, but I'd main for a modern version of where the characters have more than 6 polygons. Look, I love the Bloodborne Demake PS1 edition because of how faithful, like how much it does feel like if that game was made in the PS1 era. But PS2 is my first era that I was really like the limitations of PS1 era is just a bit too much for me, so I feel that. Which game was it, Ray?
Yeah, which game was that? And I'm excited to see.
Also, ACE, good to go to have you. Imagine if Kryl dyed her coat white instead of yellow. I feel like there is a reference to the the devout outfit somewhere in 7 or in 14, isn't there?
Is it one of the artifact armors for the white mage?
No, I think they might have added it to like the store or something. Maybe I'm just thinking of the fat cat like clothing. It does look a lot like it.
I guess it could be, yeah.
I really appreciate that Kryl gets all of Galif's abilities. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, can you imagine if you played this game and she didn't? It would kind of just feel bad.
Yeah.
I also think that within the lore of the game, they justify it, right? Because part of it is that not just that you're leveling with the individual, but you're leveling the crystal. Like, you're instilling the memories and the power into the crystal itself.
Oh, the Island Sanctuary. You get Kryl's set from, like, the Kryl's Devout set from...
That's what it is.
Yeah. And you can also get Barding for your Chocobo with the same style. The Felicitous set.
Keep going down the wrong staircase. Yes, because the Felicitous minion.
Yes.
Or whatever. I have a suspicion that I can't help but wonder, will Krile be with us against, or be with us or against us in general? I think the Scions will be grouped by those who want to experience archons and experience freelancers. I think it's gonna be a more of natives versus new peeps situation. For instance, those who have founded Erenville and are farming ceruleum versus those siding with not necessarily Gulul Jaja, but like that people more specifically who are native to Leolal and Tural and all that. I don't know. Maybe they won't go that far, but I could just imagine that because on a certain level you already have Erenville siding would side probably with his home. In the new trailer, you have Istinian fighting with the native Mamelja. You have Mamelja giving gifts to Alice. We don't necessarily know what's up with Alfino because he's with us on the ship. Y'shtola is studying stuff, but we don't necessarily know. There's not necessarily any interactions with her and anything else. Graha's eating stuff, but we don't necessarily know. Urianje's drinking his pina colada.
God bless
I definitely. Yeah, God, I mean, he's the only person so far that seems like, no, I'm out on a vacation, I'm taking it as a vacation. So I that's my bent right now. But then again, we all know my hit and miss record are at best 50-50. The Warriors Lies Ladder, yeah. Kagero Deception 2. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I just
went around this
Googled
castle
it.
Setting traps and had to actively avoid fighting. Making the trap combos was awesome. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, some of the trap combos looks cool. Like the Wikipedia says, you can combine an arrow with a like a lightning bolt to make a laser arrow. It just sounds cool.
I feel like that's a game that very easily could be like remade as an indie game.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Thancred has the Nutkin to protect him.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't see him with the Nutkin. So maybe the Nutkin's after him. Maybe it's like that, the theoretical you get $1 million, but a slug chases you for the rest of your life. Maybe that's what the Nutkin is. What is Krile's name in Japanese from 5? I think it's Kiruru.
It's Kururu,
Kururu.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Kururu Maya Barudeshion, sorry.
But speaking of, we were talking a little bit right before stream, but we were talking about Viper, the new job in 14 that they announced, and also what the second new job might be. We know it's a caster. Obviously, there's the hints that it might be Green Mage, which I have for years said that. Yeah, because Neri's been on that train for forever, and is quite a green individual too. But I've been against it for years, mostly because what about Green Mage's identity has not been covered by Asts. But then someone pointed out that I just hadn't played at Tactics Advanced 2 in a long time, that specifically the version in Tactics Advanced 2 is much more shamanistic and not just the Saboteur support. It's actually got like a lot more identity that's different than the other versions of Green Mage throughout time. And if you combine that with some of the things I've said, for instance, like about Geomancer or about the New World's culture, I totally can imagine. I totally think people who are on the Green Mage train are there's very solid evidence, and it's very warranted.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't in the past.
I do think that they will have to weave in some elements of Geomancer and stuff like that into it a little bit.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be too hard, right? Because as long as it's, okay, they're drawing energy from the star and it's elemental, then you succeeded. And that's just so general. There's parts of that already in White Mage and parts of that in Black Mage.
Yeah, definitely.
My thing is, like, do they go as far as adding, like, totems or something?
Well, totems is such a big thing of Mamulja magic. It's possible.
Right. That's the thing, is that you got the sophists and stuff using it. You have the totems that are used to teach Blue Mage spells as containers for the reciprocate, reciprocals?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You have the Mamulja totems that can like block damage and stuff in Wondrous Palace Heart.
Yeah. The ones cast by the sophists and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
No, sorry, the sophists are the normal guys. You're talking about the mid boss, the second boss that uses the totems. Yeah.
Finally,
use one to
you
trap
can play a lower accurate Vanu mage.
That would be fun. Oh, I guess, yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, you with their love of totems. And that'd be actually really fun if there was a callback to totems in some way, and like a connection between the Vanavanner that someone pointed out, and like the various cultures that you have used them throughout time.
I think that would be a really interesting thing to look at, yeah.
You use one trap to knock the guy into another trap, and set off a third trap. See, that sounds like that sort of foresight and pre-planning definitely sounds up your alley, right? What if Geomancy's like Genbu, a turtle mage kind of thing? I mean, Geomancy, as it's portrayed in Ingan culture, I mean, there's also Doman culture and Geomancy as well, is basically a confluence of like black magic, white magic, but not quite in the red mage way. I mean, it's kind of more fundamental principles. And then it shares a lot with Ast, except for it draws from the star beneath us rather than the stars in the sky, which has a different kind of causal effect. It's more elemental. So like, I mean, kind of what the Four Lords do are kind of akin. They're not super far off. At least get with Genbu. Dead end, huh? Kryle, where are you going? There's nothing in here.
No, there is. All of this is an illusion created by X-Death.
What? Are you certain?
Grandpa, give me strength.
I see. Galef has fallen as well. Dogan, Zazat, and Galef have all shuffled off this mortal coil. I fear I haven't much longer either.
Lord Calgar!
The time for that longest of rests draws closer.
Of course, Demins joins on the day that we get the wolves again.
Yeah.
Who goes there? Galef. Galef, is it you? What? Kryle is... Galef, I understand. Everyone, lend me your strength.
Lord Calgar!
We must tear down the illusion X-Death has created. This is my last wish and final command. Send all your power to X-Death's castle.
Some serious spirit bomb shit.
Hell yeah. Oh shit.
You know, I really appreciated that recently. Sakaguchi said out loud and specifically how much Star Wars had an impact on Final Fantasy, because when you have Wolfman fading away to death in his bed in order, like, as giving his final commandment, you can't help but think of Yoda.
Yeah. These early games especially are just so overtly Star Wars based. Well, some of them are very Star Wars based, some of them are very influenced.
I see, Grandpa. And a Wolfman!
It must be Kelgar.
Green Mage.
I will say, this is... green tint, Green Mage confirmed.
Their power. Everyone's power is...
I feel like I must have noticed this before, but I just realized Kryle has a pink bow in her hair, just like Kryle in 14.
True. Jesus Christ.
I love that it put up victorious music right after it shows us the like flesh version of Geiger, like, take over everything.
I was thinking, X-Death's castle looks really nice inside. Why does it look so nice? But, okay.
Little did they know. Speaking of Mammal Jaw, do you think Galul Jaja is aware of Galef is dead? Also, why does 14 refuse to show us his face? Galef's? That's a good question. I think it's... I mean, there's a bunch of reasons you could come up with that to avoid having to canonically answer the question, or maybe just so that when there's some mystery as to when you're dealing with the shade thing in Eureka. I don't know particularly. It's a little bit weird. Is where of Galef's death? That's an interesting question. It depends on how in contact with anyone they've been, because they've been in contact with Charlene and have trade routes to Charlene. So in theory, the disappearance of Vol would be something that he should have been made known of. But then again, it's been a relatively short period of time. Maybe no one's made a voyage. Maybe Charlene hasn't had like a recent voyage to there or a recent person to bring that news. Yeah, I guess I would be surprised if they did. But it's also quite possible, seeing as the antiquity of that letter as such. Remember what I said about the shirt hinting to illusionist because of Mr. Turtle from Master of Disguise? Doesn't realize crowds seeing through illusions actually wear a thing in 5. Hey, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. The crowd can see through illusions. No, I think, if anything, the shirts, what they're getting at is the dual swords of Viper with Leonardo, and I think that the Ninja Turtles are green for Green Mage would be the most superficial answer I got. Is that why people are comparing Viper with Darth Maul and lightsabers? I mean, they're doing it because Darth Maul has a dual-bladed lightsaber, and you know, but also at certain points in later on in Clone Wars and stuff, will wield 2 single, and also his saber gets cut in half.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely dual blade. I feel like the most common pop culture association with dual blade anything is Darth Maul, right? So I think that's, especially in the Western world, that's like the first place people go.
Yeah, if you want to do a Final Fantasy comparison, then it would be Zidane.
Yeah. Zidane's really the only person I can think of that has any kind of dual blade weapon too, like that.
And he splits his into daggers as well.
Right. The only other thing that I remembered and then checked was in 5 they introduced, I'm forgetting its called, but there's actually a boomerang weapon in this game that's technically a dual bladed staff, and it's the first time in any Final Fantasy game that they have a dual bladed weapon like that.
Yeah, it was well, it was in that era where they were starting to do like cool weapons, like they had the gun blades like in the game after that, the game before that actually, and then they have those, and I think they revived rackets like for the first time in a long time for
Racket?
9.
Wait, what?
You know how
I have no memory of this.
very early Final Fantasy games had like actual tennis rackets basically for white mages? That comes back in 9.
Did we ever use one of those? I don't even remember using that in these replay.
Let me have a look.
That's wild, man.
I wonder what games it appears in.
Yeah.
Oh no,
what do you guys? Do you guys? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only Crystal Chronicles in 9. I don't know why I thought that was the thing before.
That would explain it. I've only ever played the spin-offs to see Crystal Chronicles, like the Rings of Fate or whatever, the DS ones. Dude, those games were weirdly dark, like really macabre, like had a really oppressive tone, and I love them for it, and I remember the story to this day for it. But it starts dark and stays dark pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah, they're not bad actually. From what I've seen, they're not too bad.
No, I'd be really interested to replay them for sure as well. Maybe those ones I'll do solo just so we don't get caught in spin-off hell. I do kind of want to play Type 0 with you because of how much I like how hard I bounced off of Type 0.
We could play it after we've played the other ones, maybe.
Yeah. What I will say about Type 0 is that I think it's the initial idea it has of when people die, they are forgotten. I really like. Like, that's like when people die, basically they're obliterated from everyone's memories. Like, as an idea, I think that's really cool.
I mean, I think it's cool in concept. I don't know if the execution was so good.
Nope. I don't think anything in the execution of Type 0 is good.
Some of the characters' designs are cool in a way that is cool to people in like the mid-2010s.
Absolutely. And if if you want Final Fantasy the Shonen game as a PSP game, Type 0 is that. I just like there are parts of like the shonen sensibility, like the killing of God and blah blah blah, that like Final Fantasy has in it too, right? But there's like doing the high school classroom in such the high school classroom children go to war. It's funny because okay, everything I'm about to say that I feel like I want to say about Type Zeros are things that I actually think I really like about Fire Emblem Three Houses and how it does it. So maybe the problem is just execution. I do think Ray Park is really good with the dual weapons. He's the physical actor for Maul. Yeah, and Snake Eyes. Yeah. Ray Park is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made a beam-looking weapon for Viper. Yeah, I would actually be surprised if they don't ever, like, even if just PvP, like an Allegan beam weapon. It's gonna be very interesting to see what sort of glams they could do for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of directions you can go. A Maul style, or any saber staff style weapon would be cool, definitely. Or it's like a glamour.
I feel like what you would probably see for the Allegan weapons is just glowy blades. However, I could also imagine them doing like a Electros baton style thing where it has like a core that's metal, but then like an electric blade or an energy blade along the edge. Because I mean,
cool.
there are weapons like that already in the game, for like Paladin and stuff. You could also do the deep dungeons and get the glowy weapons from there. Because I mean, if you just get the red glowy weapon from Palace of the Dead for Viper, that's, you know, you're basically just carrying a lightsaber. There's just no handle. Black Warlock. I assume that it means like a mage.
I think, yeah, like a black Numenorian, like an evil warlock.
I love that you immediately go to Numenorian.
you know what I'm doing with.
I know what you're doing. I heard Fire Emblem Three Houses. I demand more Hydaelyn at Fire Emblem games. I mean, as long as they've got Hydaelyn wins in them. There are things about Three Houses that I don't love that are a little bit more, like anytime it's doing any kind of fan service stuff, I'm not a fan of it. But I think on the whole, I really adore Three Houses. It's the only Fire Emblem that I would say I really loved. I would say I at best maybe liked the rest.
Yeah.
And I've played all of the ones from stateside.
Okay, so the original Japanese is Dark Sorcerer.
Interesting.
And Koku Madoshi.
I wonder why they changed it.
I think a D&D obsession.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean fair enough. Or hear me out, dual wield chain swords. Okay, lady, I'm listening. I'm listening. Chain swords. I mean, honestly, I would be surprised if we don't get that as some kind of glam at some point. Just because, you know, there's the Garlean precedent of like Green Watt and stuff. That would be funny though. If like literally one of like a joke glam for Viper was just dual like two chainsaws hooked together.
I mean, we could do chainsaws. I think then we'd need to do a Dark Knight one, right?
Okay, that would be pretty funny. The problem with Dark Knight is like the poses. Like with Dark Knight, I'm trying to like how do you? It would have to still be like a chainsaw on a stick. Because otherwise you'd have to change a bunch of the animations.
Because you use like a 40k chainsword.
Okay, okay, I'm here for it. Just give Machinist the Lancer from Gears of War.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, some of the like guns when they do their little combos aren't entirely dissimilar. You could do some stuff with that.
I never really understood the design velocity of why characters with Dragon Blood didn't wear shoes in Fire Emblem like Corrin. I can't give you an answer to that because it's probably someone came up with a bullshit reason and then decided to make it universal. I mean, not bullshit, but it's like, I don't know, probably something. I mean, look, if you're gonna have issues with the like philosophy of that, I'm gonna go with I have more issues with metal battle bikini thong than I do with dragons not wearing shoes.
There's the character designs of Final Fantasy are usually sorry, not Final Fantasy, of Fire Emblem are usually like fine enough, like they're fun, but
unless it's in the Fate series.
Yeah, but rarely is there a I think even then, like on a surface level, a lot of them are like fine. You know, they're like, okay, yeah, baby's first, like character design, anime character design as well.
Fates for me I have a harder time with because there's much more of the fan service stuff that I like.
But I find that a lot of the time, Fire Emblem doesn't put too much deep thought into it. It's often this looks cool, or this looks sexy, or this person has cool colored hair, and then that's all that we need to think about in the design.
It really is ruler cool.
Yeah.
I prefer how customizable Three Houses is. Yeah, I mean, for me, I love that you can recruit all the kids. I love that you can min-max, but the game like lets you min-max in fun ways. The fact that the time mechanic isn't a fundamental staple of the series from now on is just insane to me, because the time mechanic in that game is literally what that series needed to be interesting to me, because it means that they can do weird shit or throw curveballs at you and you don't have to feel the need to restart. Because it's like, well, I never saw it coming. It's like, no, they can throw you curveballs and you can try to play it out, see how it goes. If it messes up, you can go back, but you can also go back to whenever you want, which means, but not only with a certain amount of charges, but that means that you could, like, okay, if you saw that you realize you messed up, not just like 2 turns ago, but like 10 turns ago, you can go back to 10 turns and play it all out, but the knowledge you accrued from playing it out the way you did actually serves to make the combat more interesting.
I'm surprised they didn't take it earlier, considering that Tactics Ogre does it.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's like, I don't want to... to me, it's like a pivotal system. To me, the fact that it's not a series staple, at least after Three Houses, is wild to me.
I'll be honest, I did not play the most recent one. The
Engage.
Yeah, I found the character design of the player characters to be offensive.
I don't even see the one. I just saw the main character and I'm like, yep, I now know what my too far limit is of character design, like of just like so ridiculous I can't take it seriously even a little bit. That hair was some Yu-Gi-Oh ass bullshit. The like red and blue hair.
When I say offensive, I mean it in a very British sense. I mean like, oh, that's offensive to me, as in like, oh, that's gross, or oh, that's just very unattractive.
Yeah.
The rainbow hair was a step too far, and I'm a certified card holding gay, so I mean, that's got to be the. It's hard to say it's the worst because they have some pretty egregious fan service, but purely like if we remove fan service from the occasion, that's got to be the worst design they've ever done for a character.
Oh, definitely agreed, no question. Like, for all I'm saying what I'm saying about Camilla and the like, at least like Camilla is a aesthetically pleasing design, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Camilla, you know, it's kind of cringe. If it was a little more self-aware, maybe it'd work, but it's...
See, my problem is that most of the time when these games do anything that's self-aware, though, they also want to have their cake and eat it too and play it as like straight and play it for the appeal, the sex appeal. So like, to me, these games never freaking commit to like actually being self-aware and saying something with it. Instead, they want to have their cake and eat it too, which undercuts it to me.
There's potential in Camilla's design though. Like if you just covered up a bit more, you know, you regulated the proportions, it would be a pretty like top tier design for this series.
Yeah. House of the Dead 4 already did that, lady. The Empress boss used the dual-ended chainsaws. Yeah, but in 14. They also split apart as you chase through the subway train, shedding through the the unholy offspring of sword and chainsaw. Unholy indeed. I'm trying to figure out how that works. So with chainsword, I mean, you can look up some examples. It's basically just look at it like think about sword, but chainsaw blade on one side of it that's reciprocating through it. I just assumed shape-changing with shoes was an issue or something. Yeah. The answers don't think about it. Swords with chains that run along the edge. I find it interesting to take making your player character a mercenary into an educator for a military school very novel. I mean, it is definitely Three Kingdoms Harry Potter, right? Like it is that is what you know. It is Romance of the Three Kingdoms meets Harry Potter. Am I wrong? Oh, okay, Enkidu.
No, this is Abductor, yeah. The green one, I think, is Abductor. Well, then again, Enkidu is also green. I don't know.
I think it's the exact same model as Enkidu.
That's distracting. Is Enkidu a type of Abductor then, or is he something different?
God, Zenny is such a fucking broken attack.
It does seem to be the most powerful thing in the whole.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh,
Jackanapes?
Jackanapes. Perfect. You're a soldier. Yeah, it was very. Oh, for God's sake. It was very overtly Harry Potter influenced. Why were you red?
You're a soldier. Because he used the moon flute, which I think gave us all berserk.
Oh, that seems okay.
Okay, so there's a skull symbol here, and when I step off of it, it opens. If it doesn't open on an open path, it then gives us an enemy to fight.
Okay, but okay. I mean, I guess...
I like it. It's at least it's a novel puzzle using the mechanics of what like they're limited.
Yeah.
You know. I'm gonna get it. You guys talking about Colgate hair? Colgate.
Yeah, so basically when I mean offensive, I really don't mean like, oh, this is offensive as in it's discriminatory or anything. I mean like this is...
Not in the American way.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Engage main character. For those who don't know who we're talking about.
It's bad.
It is.
Who's his work? The male or the female character?
Yeah, so that's the character we're talking about. Colgate logo.
I don't know who designed that and then who approved it.
It is literally the same colors. I mean, I want to defend it, and at least they tried to do. They didn't just do like one side completely red, one side blue. They kind of like tried to do some like under highlights and stuff to at least make it more visually no.
It even looks better in this picture because, like in the picture and in the game, it looks a little better than it does on the concept art, like the original like box art. It's really bad.
Hey, got it.
Nice.
I played a bit of Engage. It feels like a major step down to 3 houses to me. Yeah, I don't want to say I kind of could tell that from the get-go, but it kind of felt like it straight away. Oh, there's going to be a skull. Interesting. Oh, it must be because if you come back here, what if it reset or broke or something? So you have to be able to move it.
A bandaquo. Is it like a bandersnatch mixed with a koal?
I'm assuming so. Also, interesting enough, the blind wolf or the Bandercurl sprite is if you look at it, the Bandersnatches in Dravanian Forelands. That's what they look like. They're different color, but that's cool.
The music's catchy in 8-bit games. Yeah, definitely. I think 8-bit music is very beloved, I feel.
I meant to say this earlier too, but 5's music has actually been really good. I mean, the core themes for plenty of them have been good. I have loved every overworld theme so far. Every overworld theme has been really good. I mean, I like some more than others. Like, I really liked 4 and 5 so far, but... And I also like when, obviously, I'm glad that we played 4 and then we also are playing 5 because when some of that music came back recently in 14's NSQ, it definitely was even more pleasing because it's like, oh, hey!
Yeah, 5's a fun one to play now, considering everything that's going on.
I'm so, people have been going back and forth on whether or not how much of 5, because I mean, Shadowbringers has a ton of 3. I mean, he's got a ton of things. Endwalker has a ridiculous amount of 4. It'll be interesting if they just keep going sequentially. If like Dawn Trail will have a lot of 5, or especially with being cryo focused to some extent.
Yes, no, I think so definitely. And they have they've shown us the old Warriors of Light like Galuf and the Wolf guy and stuff like that.
Well, and Galuf has a relationship with the New World, so at least there's some of that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I think all of them are confirmed as having died on Val, but...
Yes.
I wonder if maybe we'll see a little bit of something. Like
an Echo Vision or something.
Yeah.
Or at least Galul Jaja talking about Galuf, because it seems like they had a friendship.
Yeah. Maybe the Lupin is, like, maybe they have roots in maybe they... I forget, is it confirmed where they come from? We know that they live around, like, Yangsha. But maybe some of them
As far as I know, every reference to them is natives to Yanxia.
Yeah,
Or
I'd
at
like to
least
see more
natives
of
to
them.
Othard. Yeah, here I can pull up the Lupins real quick.
We could always have one that's there or something like. Edit.
I mean, there can be plenty to end. I mean, think about it. Othard and Hingashi and Doma and all that are just as close to, are as close, if not closer. They have to go across the Glass Sea instead of the Indigo Deep.
Yeah, the Glass Sea is any. There's probably more
Glass Ocean,
islands
sorry.
between if we're taking anything like from Rio, which we shouldn't emphasize, but maybe there's something from. Real world geography.
I mean, there might be. There's no maps that imply there's any maps out there, but we don't like part of Glass Ocean kind of feels like it's missing a little bit from the map.
Yeah.
But you don't really see much in the way of maps, islands on the Mare Lamentorum globe.
Yes.
But doesn't mean that there's not nothing. The race headed of wolf warriors is known in the Far East for their martial prowess. In the nation of Doma, the Lupin have been built a history, serving the samurai as an integral part of their support forces. The geographical origin of Lupin is unknown.
Ooh.
Even the most ancient of records state only that they lived as nomadic hunters, always following the migration of their prey. Those wolfmen who now reside in the Far East recount tales from 2,000 summers past, when they first came through Nagsha from the distant west to settle in the lands of Yanxia. Their arrival brought them into the conflict with the native Hur and Rogadin, and history is ripe with stories of their clashes. Eventually, however, the Lupin were drawn into regional struggle for supremacy, with rival factions vying to purchase their military might. And through the fulfillment of these mercenary contracts did they begin to establish their presence in the area. The Lupin commander Garo, and his unusual friendship with Doma's founding father, is a especially famous case. His acceptance of Gainan's chief retainer was a turning point, which saw a long line of Garo descendants swearing allegiance to Doma and finding service with the nation's samurai army. So, coming into Yanxia from Nagsha and from the west means that they could be from anywhere in the three great continents.
They could.
Or
Maybe
hell,
they
like-
landed in Eorzean and then went all the way.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. Look, we have a tribe of the Lost who ended up in the New World and have been there for at least some decent
That's
amount of
true.
time. So, wolfmen, beastly men for days.
Yeah.
Completely forgot to stream. Hi, great, good to see you. Glad to have you. No worries. We were off last week because Niniri was sick, so we've been intermittent. So it's not we're not necessarily a fixed part of everyone's lives. It's not exactly shocking.
Came
Right down
late.
to this.
Yeah, maybe AC, maybe around that sort of time. Yeah, late 5th Astral Era. That would be about it. Yeah.
2,000 years ago, so yeah, 1,500 ago, so yeah, yep.
Probably as the ice was
That is
melting.
Late 5th Astral Era would have been the 5th Astral Era would have been long enough that the ice would have melted long before that, because you've got about roughly 1,500-ish years. Oh, I should actually be paying attention.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I think I misjudged my Astral Eras.
Because think about it, 6th is about 1,600-ish years. So you've got an extra 400 years, but that would still be smack dab before the beginning of the War of the Magi.
Yeah.
God,
Astral
the
Eras
fucking
are such-
Zenny attack.
It is bullshit, isn't it?
Sorry, go ahead.
The Astral Eras are bizarrely a really bad way to tell time for the other the other continents for some reason. It seems like they're much less definitive outside of Eorzea.
Well, yeah, I mean, because their wide-ranging effect is so, like, as much as there's worldwide flooding, as much as there's the Ice Age, it seems like the other nations are much more,
It's almost
There's
like
no-
it's better to categorize them as like pre-Allig and post-Allig, the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only marker we have. Like, for instance, Doma, like, most of Othardian history, that's the only real point of reference we can use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to think about... Yeah, I don't know. Main Wolf Lupin. I imagine that Lupin could work as a native tribe in the New World. They could. I don't think they will be, but I don't have anything to support that because they've been migratory, and by the same logic I'm using to say that they are likely to be, you could argue that it doesn't make sense that Lost would have ended up in the New World, or that you wouldn't expect the Lost to have ended up in the New World, and they clearly did. So
If sail to... So if they sailed up from Mericidia, maybe, then they could make their way through south. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, if you sailed from Mare City, although wouldn't you have expected them to be written as one of the major parties for the tribal group, for one of the warring triad groups, and or at least some hearkening to them by Tiamat, Bahamut, or Thavnir to have engaged with them at some point?
It's hard to gauge though. It's hard to gauge how much of like Mare City has actually been given away from like those perspectives, and how much is just like we're just seeing like the very tip of the iceberg.
Well, and if they're like a smaller group, right? Then it doesn't.
Yeah, or if they're nomadic, maybe they wouldn't necessarily oppose Alec so much as they would just stay out their way.
Yeah. That's an interesting quandary. Yeah, because you definitely would imagine that Alec probably would have taken some of them also back for research. I don't think we've ever seen a Lupin in an Allegan facility. I wanted tamales as food in Dawntrail, and also spicy hot chocolate should give spellcasters a kick in their stats. I mean, that I definitely could imagine getting that.
Yeah, that makes sense with all the like Mesoamerican stuff.
Oh man, the food's gonna be crazy if the patches have been getting anything to go by. There was a Fire Emblem Heroes where you are an FFE character with the with the first ever gun in the series, and it's a gun that shoots out heroes. Right down going to Dark Knight to Paladin. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dark Knight in Endwalker going from Dark Knight to Paladin. Yeah, very, very Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah. I think the gobbies from New World. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I think it's possible.
Well, it depends, right? Because are the new gobbies from the New World, or they expedited? Have they left to? Because like the ancient Gobby city being there makes sense, especially with the the pilgrimage that the Gobbies go on, and the fact that they hardcore disappear and no one's heard of them whatsoever, or no one like sees them during that time. Them being in the New World would make sense. Alternatively, I've thought for a while it would make sense that they were somewhere. It was somewhere in Ilsabard, but honestly, I don't know even where it would be at this point, other than somewhere in between, like where now Mask is and Corvos, because there's not that many places.
It would need to be. It could be quite far north though. Like there's a lot of the north we haven't really, outside of, Sharlayan and Garlemald, we haven't really explored too much.
Yeah, all I'll say is that with the new group of Gobbies, which oh my god, I'm so excited for the Gobbies! Yes! With that whole new group, and them being a tribal group, finally Goblins being a tribal group.
Oh yeah, finally.
Very exciting.
I think it's interesting that the Moblins, we know they live in jungles, and then the first time we meet goblins, they're living in jungles, and the biggest population that we meet outside of that are living in a fairly warm area. I almost struggle to see them living in the north. Of course, they could heat themselves.
To be fair, though, when you first meet them, you don't find them in jungles. You only find them in jungles if you start in Lenosia. There's a band of them in each of the starting cities. There's some living in the forests in like the Central Shroud or the South Shroud.
That's true.
There's some living in Western Thanalin, and other places besides.
That's true. But there's so much like sort of phrased as almost like side groups, outcasts. Not that Brave Fox isn't, I suppose. The Moblins are definitely. I think the phrasing was that they share a common ancestor. So maybe there's like a proto-goblin race that we might hear some allusion to. But they look. Obviously, we don't see their flesh necessarily, but in body structure, they don't seem to actually have evolved much from goblin. Like maybe it's a social evolution more than it is like they've actually diverged as a species.
Right. I mean, I see it very much as in the spirit of the clans, right? Like the difference between one clan and another. Find passages. There we go. That's what I want.
But the Moblins were in 11 as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is why I gotta play 11. Also, with fucking the Alliance raid being Vanadil, which is exciting.
And they were so the Moblins like to live in 11. They lived underground, and they very rarely leave their big underground city, which I feel is maybe a little bit sort of telling.
Could the Gabo city be underground? I always have assumed it was underground. I don't know why. I don't know if it's described that way in the like bits that you get in Encyclopedia Eorzea, but I just have always had that mental image. My mental image has always been basically like the inside of Alexander, but underground.
So I'm gonna send you some pictures of the. Since in the Moblin city, this huge city they live in is called Movil Polis. And I will send you some pictures because it's absurdly Dark Souls.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
I sent it to you. That's good.
Also, do you think that they have mobby cheese or something else fermented as their special food? I imagine cheese doesn't keep in jungles. Yeah, that's a good question. Did the Inca use goat cheese? Or
They would
not
be more
goat
like
cheese,
cheese, alpaca cheese.
Alpaca cheese, yeah.
Inca cheese, Inca. I mean, yeah, they use queso.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe they didn't actually. I think that's a modern invention. I think that's a modern brand called queso. Okay, I can't find.
I was about to say, like,
cheese.
okay, try looking up Mesoamerican cheese. See if anything pops up.
I'll see if there's like Mayan.
Mobby hot chocky. Mobby hot chocolate. Mobby hot chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So a lot of people compare spirulina to the cheese of the Mesoamerican world, which is like an algae.
Interesting.
Interesting. How much gil do you want to bet that the Moblins have a different dialect? Yeah, I think they still have an absurdist voice, but I think it will be different, at least in certain ways, although very similar thematically to the goblins. Like it'll sound like kind of silly and cutesy as well, but it'll be different.
I think the question in part is, honestly, so the thing that is worth remembering about the different different ways things are spoken by the Gobbies and a lot of the other groups is that was very much a push from Koji. And not that they haven't been doing things like that at all since, but it's worth remembering that if there isn't someone on the localization team pushing for it, it doesn't necessarily happen. So I hope it does.
I think it will. I'm confident, actually, that it will. Maybe I'm a little bit cocky in that regard, but I sent you the pictures of the Goblin City, by the way.
Thank you. I'm pulling those up. Oh my god, this literally just looks like the gutter.
Yeah, right?
Okay, I'm pulling this up for so people can see it. Like, for those of you who have played Dark Souls 2.
It really is giving Dark Souls 2. It's giving the gutter and then the area with the ship where you fight the
yeah.
boss.
Yeah. The Twin Sentinel.
Yes.
Wow. It also has a vibe that kind of just reminds me of like Myst era games.
I see that.
I don't know if it's just like the lower poly models and like the specific textures being used or something, but
I think the way they've handled darkness is quite like Myst era as well.
Yeah. Misty, Riven. Huh. Wild.
I'm still not sure if we should play 11 or not as part of this series. It's going to be a long investment, but maybe not much reward.
I think that's when I gotta do solo. That'll just take too much time
Yeah,
otherwise. I think that's just realistically from
I mean, unless the audience is desperate to watch us both play 11, but I think it's going to be so long. Is there anywhere that I can find how long does it take to play 11?
I don't know. Like, and also the thing about 11 is like not linear in the way you engage with it too. That actually would work. Hot chocolate, or what was it called? Colide.
Okay, yeah. It takes the main story alone is 130 hours, so yeah.
Holy moly.
Does that make Limsa the Lost Bastille?
Lost Bastille, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
Limsa's
Lost Bastille. What's the freaking desert place that you never go to that's referenced with the ant lion thingies?
Oh, yeah. The
Karthus.
Yeah, the place that worships the nameless king. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. The desert. So when you go into the catacombs.
Yeah.
Beneath after
the one with the big
you
worm.
killed. Yeah, and so even before there, you after you defeat the oh my god, what are they called? They're one of my favorite bosses. The Farron Sentry guys.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Knights of Farron, I think. And but so once you defeat them, you go to the catacombs under there, and there's references to I think Carthus, something like that.
Yeah, Carthus.
So that would be yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Gridania has like.
Isn't it
Gridania is just like.
That,
sorry, go ahead.
I think it's some sort of implied that part of that area was Carthus and then was destroyed by a Wolnir, maybe.
Correct. That is correct. I'd love to at least see a video of 11. I would love to see it, but I'm worried about having to set it up. Dude, I had to spend like 2 hours just setting it up. That game, just to play that game, people are not kidding.
It's
it is
punishing.
Ridiculous.
And the gameplay isn't good. Like we can be honest. The gameplay is not great.
It does not hold up, at least so far. I might be able to get into the headspace where I can like enjoy it at some point, but
it would definitely be, you subject yourself to some measures to put yourself into the right headspace for it. Not like this is just enjoyable flatly.
Oh, I'm probably.
Oh! Abyss Watchers, do you mean? Oh,
Abyss Watchers, thank you. Yes.
Zenonage.
Oh!
Zenonage.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, so clutch. That skill is incredible.
Beautiful. Oh. See, this is what happens when you don't farm for a week.
Yeah, right. And then we do X deaths to castle.
Okay, so it's this. Now I gotta figure out. Okay, so that one was it. How was I supposed to solve this puzzle? Like other than like trial and error.
I think it might.
You know what? Fuck it. Since they're gonna make me trial and error, I'm gonna say fuck you to your puzzle.
Are you gonna Google it?
Yeah. We're on, I think, floor 8. Oh, this is where you can get Carbuncle. So we definitely want to try and get that. X-Death Castle, floor 8. Okay, here we go.
Maybe stream certain fights. Yeah, we could do Lady, but I feel like that would maybe. Yeah, maybe my.
I think what I may probably do is I may just like in the time after 0.55 comes out, I may just like go back to like streaming a little bit more frequently, on a daily basis. Hey, Twinlands! That's the weapon I was talking about. This is the first example of the Viper. The art for that is like a dual-sided weapon.
Let me go find it.
Okay, let me see. Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, it's like a Naginata almost, like a double-sided Naginata.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Carbuncle. Oh no, not Final Fantasy 14. I want Final Fantasy 5. I literally, anytime I type in FF, my hands autocomplete XIV instead of like any of the other games.
I mean, if you start 11 and think, oh, this would actually go really well with stream, then maybe we can always do it anyway.
The thing is that literally you're talking about, think about it this, we spend maybe 2 hours on the stream, let's say 3. What you're talking about to complete the narrative story of that game is well over a year just for that, if we're consistent.
I'm thinking the only way that it could work would be after we finish the other games.
Yeah. On the 10th floor, skull tiles cover the room. If the party it's not one fight, defeating him. Okay, cool. I wonder what the rationale with like putting things that were missable was. Like, what the design philosophy is there. Is that make sure to punish people if they don't pay attention?
I wonder if it's
maybe?
I wonder if it's something like, I don't know actually. Forcing people into exploration so the game lasts longer, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll join you if you're stronger than me. Come on, show me what you've got.
I like what you've got. Oh wait, dude, this looks a lot like fucking Proto Carbuncle.
Yeah, it is Proto. Yeah, this is where it comes from. The ancient design. It's cool though. I think there's also a really ugly Carbuncle that is in one game.
I'd love to play 11 with people here. Here's a guild free company system. Has it? Yeah, it does. It has a link shell system. I don't know how the free company system and all that works, but yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be a thing. I know I've said it in the past that it was planned to be a thing. I think it's just about timing it.
I think I'm thinking about the concept art for 4. It looks fucking crazy. And it's wearing sneakers also.
I keep using Gaia's Wrath, and I keep not paying attention if I actually hit with it.
It's a little Did Zendanagi win? No. It's a little strange that Carbuncle is nowadays so cute when it's named for like a type of abscess.
Yeah. Well, so am I wrong though? Is the reason it's called Carbuncle though has to do with the gemstone popping out, right? Like it looks like a.
Yeah. So carbuncles are like are also like. I think there is some like medieval type stuff that relates to carbuncles and gemstones.
I came with the perfect party to not be able to do any damage.
Yeah, so there is a carbuncle gemstone. It's just a garnet. Why is it named that? Oh, and then there is a creature in South American folklore called a carbuncle.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if it's a confluence of all those things.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you ever think about the fact that because a bunch of people were super interested into like gems, like hippie style gemstones in Japan in the 80s, we ended up with this series?
I think that absolutely contributed to it. Yes.
Like I'm just like imagine if like a main series of like one of the bigger no, not Ferris. Fuck.
Oh god. That's horrifying.
Okay. Phoenix down. Okay, now I actually have to try a little bit.
You cast into the void. This is some like Asian shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotta figure. Okay, so Ifrit, Shiva didn't do anything. Let's try Chocobo. Let's see if that does anything. Hey. Hey.
Oh.
Okay, that's. Oh wait. Okay, Ferris is back. I don't know why Ferris is back, but I'm not arguing. I love that the first thing that they do after being down is put on their clothes. It's like, okay, back to my outfit. Kirby, you are not when you are hungry. Have a Snickers. Imagine if Tataru could summon and tame a Proto. Oh dear lord. Let's not pretend we didn't.
Yeah, like that would be funny as a one-time gag, but not as like a thing that she can consistently do.
Also, I feel like the fundamental. I'd have to relook at how they describe specifically the Proto Carbuncle in. There's a note on it in I think the Triple Triad card, but I don't know that it necessarily exists in the same way that a. Oh great, I ran out of money.
Oh crap. Okay. Let me have a look at the Triple Triad card.
Oh thank God.
I mean, I suppose
Start playing Silent Scream.
You could create one, like theoretically, but.
Well, but so look into it because is it formed around the stone in the same way, or is it a creature that exists, created through creation magic?
It's created.
You kids are strong after all. This could be good for a laugh.
Receive the summon, Monster Carbuncle.
Okay, it has crystallized body parts, which made it theoretically enabled to store large amounts of dense ether.
Right, but it is just a byproduct of creation magic, correct?
Yeah, it's a creation. Yeah, it's like a a
whereas
creation.
carbuncles are an elemental. They're made through channeling aether through a crystal and wrapping that aether around it to create a form in that way. So like their fundamental existence is kind of different.
Yeah.
Because like Proto Carbuncle has more in line with that bear from the Isle of Ham. You know, the bear that's this like second boss that has a bunch of crystals in it.
Yeah.
It's more that it has body parts that are crystalline rather than being an element, like a fairy or yeah.
We should also know that the Proto-Carbuncle is sort of like, as far as we know from what we're told, it is fundamentally very unstable and volatile. So I don't think Tataru summoning it would be a good thing necessarily.
Yeah, even if she could. It's just a glamour for regular Carbuncle, yeah. Yeah, Carbuncle is a round cut of a gemstone, if I remember correctly. Oh. I hope we don't encounter Wendigo in the new world. I feel like, is there already not something named Wendigo in the game? Even if not, I would imagine that we could definitely do that.
Isn't that
That'd be North America. Yeah, good point. We're going to Yaktoral, not to the northern part, so fair.
Yeah, if we go to the north, then, you know, we can get some Cahokia stuff, but that would be a very, very different experience.
I don't even understand how I'm supposed to get to that.
I think... no, we didn't have a Wendigo, but there's an 11 Wendigo. Oh, there's a 1.0 Wendigo.
That might be what I'm thinking of. I've definitely looked up 1.0 enemies before.
And there was one in 11.
There's definitely been multiple Wendigos in the games over the years.
Yes. There's a bit of controversy around the Wendigo anyway, with you know, certain Native American groups saying that you shouldn't even say the name. It's a bit of a thing.
Ain't it always?
It is.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, because there's a much longer history of conflict around cultural appropriation in North America versus Japan. And Japan's not always had the best track record of cultural sensitivity, but luckily, mostly because I think they don't tend to have to deal with it as much, being a relative monoculture. But they've like specifically pointed that out, that they've not been perfect about it in the past, and that they want to try to get it right for going into Dawn Trail. Like, they said that literally on the stage at FanFest. So right. I'm hopeful. So did you see that photo where something was redacted from the screenshots for
I didn't.
Dawn Trail?
I missed that.
So it's a screenshot where you get to see like a big valley that looks kind of like the Alacala. I keep forgetting it. The South American desert. Atacama. That's what it is.
Oh.
The Atacama Desert. It kind of looks like that, and then there's like a village there, but in the far background, half of the screen is just covered with a spoiler tag.
Oh.
In a way that, but like it's in the skyline, almost like there's like something there rather than like a geographical landmark.
But the Atacama is
I don't know.
It's so far south. There's like nothing. I mean, I guess. Yeah, even the Incas didn't really do too much there.
Oh, there was stuff in there. There were people.
There's no like famous ruins necessarily. I think are the no, even the Nazca lines aren't. They're not in the Atacama, are they?
I don't know. But what will be interesting, I don't know, the way that that screenshot was framed, man, made me really think of, I don't know if it was just Major Copium, but kind of reminded me of Vegnagun. Like it reminded me of like Sin or Vegnagun or something you'd sit on the not that I need it to be that or even necessarily want it to be that unless they have a really good reason to do it, but it like the specific way. They also showed, what was it, Eliminator? I think that's what it's called. The one of the new creatures. It's not clear if it's a trial or what it is.
Oh,
it's Godzilla in the background. I mean, look, Sin is just, and Vegnagun are just kaijus, so. I mean, Sin's relationship with Spira is like more, is closer to like the 1950s Godzilla than anything.
I'm trying to find this spoiler image. Does anyone know where I can, like, what I would look up to find it?
Here, I have all these files saved. Give me a second to find it.
It's Godzilla. Yeah, I do like that. Right. Tataru has like Tataru has above average reserves of Aether, definitely, but she's not like freakish necessarily.
The thing is that Tataru is above average in that she has more than average, but that's still like far below the vast majority of people.
If the ancients couldn't adequately feed Protocarbon, nothing on our world can. In a sustainable manner. Yeah, the Chincharo. I know the Chincharo, but they didn't leave significant edifices. They were sort of sedentary, small scale fishermen. And they're old.
Oh my god.
Old.
Sorry, I didn't save these to the right place. Give me one quick second.
No worries.
Da, ba, ba, ba. Also, did you see the new graphics overhaul stuff? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, there's some fantastic stuff going on with the graphics. I feel like there's a bit of a trend lately with graphical overhauls from MMOs. I guess we're just at that point with the like Swator's doing it. I think WoW did a mini.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
I think maybe the tech is just there where it's more accessible now.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, fantastic.
I am point.
Maybe Dynamis can fix Proto. I mean, we could probably do anything we want with Dynamis if you want to hand wave it enough. Yeah.
Yeah. There it is now on screen. On stream.
Okay.
Let me catch up on chat real quick while that. Carby, not you when you're hungry. Says this is YouTuber Construction. Please say like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Ray Ray. I swear there's a Sherlock Holmes story about the blue carbuncle gemstone. Oh, yeah, carbuncles around cut gemstone. Thank you, Ray. I hope we don't encounter the Wendigo. Talked about that. Start playing Silent Scream. Okay, Tataru summoning the Proto All Saints Wake then. That'd be funny. That would be funny just as if someone did that as like a joke. Chime, if you'd like to know more about carbuncles, check out the short. Yeah. Do a super chat. Although if they're rude chat, it's the verse because it makes Deadpool happy. I don't think we can use super chats right now because we're not at 1,000 subscribers. Tataru is a natural reserves of Aether or something to maintain carbuncle manifestation, right? Maybe. Yeah, I don't think. I would not. I don't think. There's nothing to indicate that Tataru has particularly crazy reserves of Aether.
She's
just
like
the fact that
average,
she's an arcanist at all.
Yeah.
I mean, she's above average in that she can cast magics, but like that's like well below even the weakest Scion.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, she's already powerful if she can bounce the book. What about the machine boss in that's Vegnagun. Yeah, the one you can fight and rebuild and can the one you can fight and rebuild stronger. Oh, I'm trying to remember which one you're talking about. I'm assuming not Vegnagun. There's definitely some ruins from the pre-Columbian culture called Chincharo, so I wonder if there's going to be a corresponding rule in Dontra. I don't know. Is it right to say Godzilla or Gojira? In English, Godzilla. In Japanese, Gojira. It's like saying, is it right to say Japan or Nihon? Like, in English, if you say Japan, you're saying the right thing. If you say Nihon in Japanese, you're saying the right thing. Although I've seen some businesses now that will have Japan in their name rather than Nihon. But yeah. Okay, don't do super chat. Just give us money.
I wonder if it's almost more like the Nevada desert.
Could be.
It almost looks a bit more like it, and I wonder if maybe it's like an El Dorado thing.
Could be. I would say if you haven't looked at all the other screenshots that they've shown for Dawntrail, and I won't show them here just in case people are trying to avoid more of them, there is a lot to talk about. For instance, a possibly another advanced civilization.
Yeah, I've seen some.
Oh,
I've seen Gilgamesh.
Geez, not Gilgamesh again. Fucking farts. Goddamn, dude, harsh. Love it. Ha ha ha! Looking for something. Well, guess what? I already took the treasure. Oh, you guys are so burned. Yahoo! Oh my god. Oh, I forgot to heal. That's not good.
I think we can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Where does Lilliputian come from? What's that word mean? I know it from somewhere.
We had a discussion, didn't we? And now I've forgotten as well. Lilliputian is about being trivial or small.
That's what it was. Dance Hall Days. Does he use these in the fight on the bridge? In the Stormblood fight? Does he use any of these?
I don't think he does. He might do, actually. Hold on, let me have a look.
Bart, I gotta switch you off Night, man. Night's been awful for you.
It's not been great. It's not been great. He is underperforming. This is almost like Pokemon music, honestly. I always feel like the Gilgamesh music is.
There's also weirdly multiple parts of this song that sound kind of like the Power Rangers Dino Thunder theme.
Okay, I see that.
Like, I feel like I could do a mashup of the two. It's from Gulliver's Travels. Lilliput is the home of the very small people. Oh, that's super cool, Ray Ray. See, this is why I love Ray Ray's extensive knowledge of...
Fantastic.
What if El Dorado is just the giant Babel covered in gold? I mean, maybe? I guess why do the giant Babel at that point?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Forrest got old cast on her and now her hair's gray. Instead of purple.
Wow, she looks good. Like, white hair looks good on her. Okay, so he doesn't use...
Already our fourth rumble. I must say, I'm quite enjoy these tussles.
He doesn't use Lilliputian, but he does use Mini. Which is the same thing, basically.
I feel we've gained an understanding. An understanding that I will pound you silly. Haha!
Okay. Okay, Gilgamesh. So I've seen some theories that there will be a floating island with a civilization atop it, a la 3.
A la 3? I mean, say, what happened to that spry old fellow?
He fought X Death End.
I see.
Oh,
He
wow.
punched Cryo!
Okay, that's a bit dark, Gilgamesh. What?
Jesus.
I really hope that's not permanent.
Enough expository banter. Now we fight like men and ladies.
Okay.
For Gilgamesh, it's morphin' time. Okay, literally even speaking of Power Rangers.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Now that it's mine,
he's gonna
let's see
call
how good this
Asura.
Excalibur really is.
He's definitely gone very Asura with this look. I wonder if this is specific, like figure from British history.
Have at you!
Oh, I should use Carbuncle.
Carbuncle's normally a support one, right? I wonder what it does. Ah, shield.
Oh, hey, it uses Ruby Light. Oh, that's where that attack came from. Would you hit once?
No, we need to change
Just once,
bots.
Bart.
We need to change Boss's class.
Eh? Why, I've been had.
Yeah, because Faris was a cross-dresser, yeah.
Dude, speaking of Asura, we're going to get that trial real soon. The Asura trial that we got to do at FanFest.
Yes.
This is far from being the strongest of my swords.
Bring out Excalibur.
How much health does he have?
He has got... Oh, okay.
Gilgamesh.
So Asura would be...
You worthless fool. For your continued bungling, I banish you from this dimension.
What? No. Anything but that.
Silence.
Cast into the void. I mean...
No.
No! Excalibur.
Yeah, AC Asuras are a class of being. They're not a god. In fact, they are lower than humans on the reincarnation scale. If you do bad things, you become, I think, an animal, then an Asura, then you go to hell or something. Oh, and hungry ghosts as well. But
Don't forget about the hungry ghosts.
yeah, but yeah, they're more like a destructive force than they are a god. But you can become one too if you do bad things, according to Buddhism.
Yeah, I don't think I definitely don't. Dynamis just using to fix things. I don't think is a great idea. Yeah. Now Lolithel's will have softer and squishier cheeks. What if Eldorado's just giant babble? To cover that, look, I need to do the fight on my alt. I'll get back to you. Yeah. Interesting enough, the book also features a flying island called Laputa. Yes, Laputa. Which is also Castle in the Sky, obviously. Laputa.
Yeah.
Which the amount of like Laputa that's in Heaven's Word is extreme. Let's just say, like, even the mechanism by which it's found, all that. Castle in the Sky was a good movie. Castle in the Sky was a good movie. It's one of my favorite Miyazaki films. It's sad that they had to change the name, but you can't call a kids movie The Whore. Wait, what? Like, I know in Japanese it's called Raputa, like it's in like but like in English it's called Castle in the Sky. But wait, what do you?
Does Laputa mean a
okay,
whore? Oh, Laputa. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Indra. Indra is the god of. He's a storm god. He's very like Indo-European. You know, the ancient. I forget what they call the Indo-European storm god. The one that like all of them are based on.
I also think Castle in the Sky though is a very evocative title. I think like in English, I actually think that's better than if it was just called Laputa, because I think Castle in the Sky is so.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, that's very evocative.
Pugvanos. That's it. He's the ancient, you know, the one that Zeus comes from, and Indra and Thor, the ancient Indo-European god. Interesting.
I mean, dude, if there is a city in the sky, I'd be fine with that. But like, I mean, kind of like Castle in the Sky is like, or Civilization in the Sky is like a major reveal. Feels like it. You know, we kind of already did that.
So an interesting point for you that I found out the other day, Elio, or rediscovered at least. So Pugvanos, the original storm god that like Thor and Zeus are all based on, is his name translates directly to the Striker or the Lord of Oaks, which you can clearly see in like the striking tree and in in what's it? In that whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, just with Ralger and Ramu and all that in general.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. Interesting that there is like this correlation between oak trees and lightning as well throughout multiple cultures.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it all dates back to the Indo-Europeans. I'm sure that's the root of it. Considering.
Do you think that connotation? Do you think it's because oak trees were struck by lightning?
I wonder. Probably. It's got to be, right? Yeah, apparently because
Something
tall
like
trees
that.
are frequently struck by lightning, and his realm was located in Wooded Mount. Okay.
The women folk were a bit wild because the men were focused on math. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? I missed something. What about Lemuria or Mu or Kumari or Kandum? Although the last one is more similar to Atlantis. I don't know those very well, so I can't say.
So Mu is like Mu also sunk under the ocean, but it was like an ancient civilization of sorcerers. In that, it has its roots in, I think, fiction, but it's become a bit of like a Freemason thing, a bit of a conspiracy theory type thing. Yeah, it does. I think Lemuria also. Don't they? They're not from myth, right? Lemuria and Mu. They're from Mu. They're from books, aren't they? Oh yeah. So Lemuria is like proposed by random weird people from the 1800s, like so many things were. And Mu is, yeah, from fiction.
Okay. Let's see if there's any new things worth equipping. No, I don't want to equip those.
What have we changed Bart's to? Not Bart. Yeah, Bart.
I just should put him on samurai for now.
You just want to use more zennies.
Well, like, I'm not even, but like, I want to put him on something that I already have and like leveled.
Yeah, that checks out.
Abilities.
Lemuria is a real place. It's full of lemurs. Well, you sound like a Magic the Gathering artist from the what is it? The early 90s. Are they called Lemuras by chance?
That was what was going on in Laputa. The women folk were a bit wild because the men were focused. Is that? I honestly don't even know if you're making a joke, Ray, or if like that's a reference to the book, or like.
We should watch the Jack Black movie to figure it out.
Oh, the Jack Black movie of Laputa?
No, of Gulliver's Travels. I'd put Jack Black in Laputa, though, yeah.
I mean, look, Mark Hamill's in it.
Do not interfere.
X-Death, no way we'll let you get away with this.
Have you even the slightest idea what I plan to get away with?
What? Well, no, but...
You all fight so fiercely, yet have no idea of the truth. Allow me to enlighten you. I will return the Earth to how it used to be.
You mean you'll turn it to a world full of evil?
Believe what you wish. Simple-minded fools such as yourself could never hope to understand my motives. It matters not. I will tolerate no more interruptions.
Really?
Okay, now I'm following.
I didn't realize Lemuria was a real place. I thought it was, like a hypothetical continent used to explain how lemurs got to Madagascar. I didn't realize it was a real island. We're being dispelled.
Doesn't matter if I don't get anything on me to dispel.
Now we do.
Dude, I'm really looking forward to getting to Dancing Mad and FF6. I've fallen in love with that song.
It's a really good song. It's definitely really good. I think maybe... This is very basic of me, but I still think One Winged Angel is like peak.
It might be. It's hard for me to tell anymore, because I didn't grow up with Dancing Mad. I only fell in love with it more recently, really.
Yeah.
Whereas I've... Veni, 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 oh, me memori faccio. Yeah, like I've had that in my bones for years.
Yeah, I definitely go through phases where I'm like, no, this song that I've more recently discovered or rediscovered is better, but then I always return to One Winged Angel.
I mean, what, you don't want like Otherworld?
Wrong, strong, give up on it. I'll be the one to win.
Like the Jack's Final Fight song?
See, 10 is such like a... Because I played 10 so much later in life than you did, it's like less fundamental a part of my interests.
Understandable.
Lemurs got to Madagascar to party and wear polka dot afros. Oh my god.
They like to move it.
They do. Isn't Dancing Mad like an 18-minute song?
It has 6 movements, basically. So it depends on what you mean by an 18-minute song. It's more like 6 songs put together into one song that like evolve into each other.
Yeah, because it plays not just through the captive fight. It plays previously as well, doesn't it?
I don't remember that. The reason I fell in love with it recently was because I was doing 011 Savage synced. And so I was fighting Kefka and just like the bum ba-na-num ba-num bum ba-num bum bum ba-num, just got in the bones. And then it gets fucking funky as it goes.
Yeah, it does. It's definitely one of like the... I think 14 has kind of bloated the market with so many good songs. But like if we're thinking songs before 14, it's definitely in like the top 5 Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, that becomes hard for me too to like question like what do you mean by good songs too? Because for me, so much of the 10 soundtracks really fire. So it's like, do we have to use the category of a bop battle theme? Because then it becomes a little easier to like pin it down.
I don't think we do, because I think Sateki Dane I would put in that top 5 as well.
Can I say something controversial?
No.
Sateki Dane is one of my least favorite songs in 14. Or in 10.
Really? It's so...
Yeah.
I just have really dear memories of the orchestral version with the live choir and stuff.
I love the orchestral version. I love the music itself. I love the main, because the main theme is like part of Yuna's motif and it's used throughout, and it's wonderful and I love it. I could do without the lyrics.
Really?
The lyrics are, because especially in Japanese, they're just like so 2000s pop star, like music. Like they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
All you.
oh no, the crystals. I can fuck with it.
They're breaking apart. Oh no, the table is broken.
Oh my god.
Oh no, the crystals, they're broken. I do like the idea that this story is keeping us in the dark what Xdeath's actual plans are this whole time. Like, it's actually been pretty cool. It's like, you don't know. You're like, what is he exactly about?
Yeah, it is cool. I think maybe they leave us a little bit too in the dark about Xdeath a little bit at points. But I think the mystery is good. It's not like he's just out of nowhere like some of the other villains have been. So that's like Zeromus fucking was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I like some of the mystery. Oh, this is our third world, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
God, we've actually, even though we've taken a few breaks, we've kind of zipped through this game faster than I thought we would.
Episode 6, and we're almost done.
Yeah.
Ish.
It hasn't overstayed its welcome.
Definitely.
This is kind of the part of the game where we've been like, I'm so bored of this game already.
Mm-hmm.
Look. Is that Castle Tycoon? We're back home. Yeah, Answers is fantastic, lady, no doubt.
Answers is fantastic. And so, for those of you who haven't noticed, or actually, I don't think that's interesting. Has it not happened yet? We'll see.
Are we in World 1 again?
Well, because we'll see. It may be that it's gonna like happen now.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if this isn't like a rug pull. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Lena, Princess Sarisa, welcome home.
Father,
The king's passing was a great loss. However, we must do our best to continue on without him. Furthermore, Princess Sarisa has returned when we thought her dead. It is cause for celebration.
I'm slowly getting more Yoda with that.
Sarissa, my true name.
Yes, my lady.
The name Papa gave me.
I don't know why Papa keeps throwing me. Hey, what are you doing?
Preparations for the banquet are complete. Of course, your acquaintances are welcome to attend.
What? You want me to go out there dressed like this? Are you mad?
Come now, princess.
Oh, that's actually very cute. Wait, why does that design look so familiar?
No, I know, it's the ponytail for some reason.
What is this reminding me of? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gorgeous. Wow, she really is.
Okay, but we've avoided that so far.
Art, I think you're blushing.
I am not. As long as it stays that level of innocent, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't want it to go. I don't want to see it go too much further than that.
Belle, that you? Yeah, it does look like Belle's golden dress.
Yeah. It's giving me Jade from Dragon Quest.
That's what I'm thinking. Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
That must be it. Oop, sorry.
I thought we were in like a nice little dancing interlude.
Okay, let me catch up on chat real quick. Yep, if you ever played Mega Man Star Force 2, move was raised from the ocean to the sky before it fell apart and sank before the ocean. Yeah, no, that's a reference to Gulliver's Travels. Villains who say do not interfere only make people want to interfere more. It's not a deterrent. The Mirror's got a Madagascar. Isn't Dancing Mad like 18-minute song? We covered that. Music and art is subjective. Such has it been? Yes. If I'm honest, 14 rendition because I like the 14 rendition because the introduction of modern instruments and basses and chanting sounds better. Yeah. You already said in the past stream, and it's funny you say that because X2 is definitely 2000s pop star. Oh no, X2 is worse. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, 1,000 words is way worse than Steki Dane. Not even close. Like, that is just a pop ballad. Like, I'm not saying 10-2 isn't worse. I'm just saying that, like, for me, the beauty of the moment Steki Dane happens in, for me, would have been accentuated more by just witnessing the moments and not having it backed with vocals, because the beauty of having Eunice, a version of Eunice theme playing there during that moment that happens that I don't want to spoil, would have been enough. It's kind of like adding a voiceover for scenes in Blade Runner. Like, the scenes are better when they don't have the voiceover. To me. I still get misty-eyed when hearing Answers. Music too dang powerful. Same. Yes, I'm also in love with your answer. Same. Imagine a new rendition of Answers for an Endwalker Ultimate. Oh, dude! Now I'm excited for that. I didn't even think about that. You'll only be mad if she danced in that dress. Belle, that you. Belle's ball gown and the Beauty and the Beast. Bart, stop fixing your fair. Yeah, it's not just her golden. There's something about the ponytail and that whole getup that reminded me of something else in Final Fantasy, but I don't know what it was.
Grandpa.
Hey, Crow. How are you holding up?
All right. It's not so painful anymore. But I just feel so anxious. It's like Grandpa's fussing at us to hurry somewhere.
Mood, Crow. I might have an idea. Come on, let's go.
Huh? What?
We're back in my world. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Let's find out what it is.
Okay.
That's a nice carpet.
What about Ferris and Lena?
No way they can slip away right now. That is a nice carpet. I like that those blues.
X3 audio drama is the worst defender of them all. Don't get Elio into
Don't get me started. Don't get me fucking started on Wills. And by the way, it's not even officially Final Fantasy X-3. It's but oh my god. Don't get me started on Wills. Don't get me. I have never met someone who liked Wills. That's one thing I'll also say about Wills. I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying that no one can, but I have never met a single person who also liked Wills.
Damn. Okay.
I beg your pardon. I was rushing over to tell everyone the bridge over the Western River is complete.
That was fortunate.
Boko still might be over in that cave to the west.
Boko? He's my chocobo and my best friend.
Oh, really?
What, you don't believe me?
Well, you're so poor at riding windrakes.
Hey, you cheeky little... Okay, fine.
Now, take this!
Oh, this is cute.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't win against this kid. What is it officially then? It's Final Fantasy X Wills is what it's officially.
It's like Lightning Returns isn't 13-3. Thank God.
Although that's even a weirder case because Lightning Returns also isn't officially 13-3, but also is like does complete the story, whereas Wills is even weirder than that.
Wills is like bad fan fiction.
Wills is like bad fan fiction.
It's weird how big a part of the story I sort of remembered vaguely Boko and Bartzy's relationship being a bigger part of the story than it has turned out to be.
I think just by contrast, it's a bigger part of the story than like some versions of earlier Final Fantasies wouldn't have made it as big of a part. They would have like brought it up once and then brought it up at the end.
Yeah, I think that's
Whereas
true.
this is like had multiple points.
Boko!
Quit!
Hello, I'm Cryo.
X2's good fan fiction. Yeah, exactly, lady.
Huh? You speak Chocobo.
Just a little. I think he wants to introduce us to someone.
Where the hell did you pick that? Oh.
Huh?
For real?
He says this is his wife. Her name is Coco.
Coco. Coco.
I don't remember this at all. That's amazing.
Boko, you've been busy, huh? How long were we gone?
Like a week.
Listen, Boko, I've got a favor to ask. Quit! He says he already knows. Really? He guessed you've been leaving on another journey. Boko, is that okay? I know you've settled down now.
Okay.
What's he saying? He says that he loves her, Boko, and that while he's away to take care of the chicks.
Jeez.
Chicks! Coco has little ones on the way, so she says she'll be waiting here for him. Coco, thanks, and don't worry, we'll come back safe. Quit! I love this game.
Bart should
Oh, he's waving!
than you.
Oh my god. Whereas 10-2 is good fan fiction, I would claim that 10-2 is good fan fiction. It feels like fan fiction. It feels like, I'm not sure I necessarily want to treat this as canonical, but it is of quality, and it does actually engage with its characters meaningfully and deeply.
Yeah, it does. I mean, this is fine. This is absolutely. There's nothing wrong with this story beat. Like, it's goofy, but in like a way that this game has appreciated and has brought into being in a fun way, not in a stupid way.
Yeah, it doesn't undercut anything, I guess, would be the first thing I'd say.
Yeah, right.
Now Boko, head to Castle Tycoon, west of Tool. Head north of Castle Tycoon, then west. You'll fall down a hole. Head north of Castle Tycoon, then west of Tool.
Goddamn, the Chocobo music is so catchy.
There's a reason it survived all these years.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So we found Tool. Are we all healed up? We are. This music is reminding me of like some of like Shimamura's music in Kingdom Hearts, like Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, I need to replay Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, maybe I don't actually. Maybe I don't, and I'll just.
I would say replaying it. Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely worth a replay. It's like mechanically it holds the fuck up, and musically it holds the fuck up.
I think I associate so much of it with the some of the bad turns that happened in the story.
Yeah, but at least it has a conclusive finale of its own.
Yeah, I will say
X2 want to make.
So, I was playing. I was watching a replay of Kingdom Hearts 1, like I said the other day, and it's concluded now. And I forgot, although I criticized 2 and the games that come after for taking the original story off the lines, the end of 1 kind of does the same, actually. It doesn't take it off the lines, but it starts to steer it in that direction.
Yeah. Oh, if you hadn't been writing so fast. Boko, I say this is all your fault. Bart's the fuck. Quick. Don't take it out on him. There's nothing he could have done. Oh boy. Bart's? What's that?
Well.
Antlion.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking they look a bit like something different, but.
Oh, that is a very different model for the Antlion.
I guess he's got the mandibles. They just blend in with his like blue ribbing on his arms.
Well, it's very different to the one, like, think about the ones that we have in Cutter's Cry or in, like, in 4.
Yeah, so we when we go with 14, we've definitely taken it to a more realistic, like an actual antlion looking type thing.
Oh, also, new video this week, Final Fantasy 14 Archives low. Ray-Ray's been hard at work on that and some other videos lately. It's the Rise of Skywalker of Final Fantasy X. Yes, actually, that is exactly what I would say Will's is. Correct. Bart, your Chocobo has more Riz than you do. Bartz, you don't know when your best friend got married with children. To be fair, he's been off planet. Yep. Does 10-2 make you laugh? Like, okay, if you want to make me angry, misunderstand that scene.
No.
Because that scene is literally about...
This is Elio's, like,
people
number
making...
one trigger point.
It really is. The amount of people who make fun of that scene, like, to me, there's no better test for either you haven't played the game or you do not understand the notion of subtext than misunderstanding that scene.
It's people saying
Like,
it on
it's just,
Twitter
like,
who
the
haven't played the
perfect
game,
test.
or who haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah, but if you haven't played it, then don't make the joke that you don't understand. Yeah. Stuck in a monster's nest. Great. Just great. I don't think it's very great at all. Now what'll we do? Whee! Yeah. Do you guys know if someone was able to get the Demacian antline to Baron? I mean, if you're talking about 14, I mean, it's a different world with different, like, it's a different history, so it could have just ended up there because of the assault and someone brought it with them. I mean, it's pretty easy to come up with a justification.
That scene is rough emotionally with... Yeah, exactly, but it's rough in a functional way with context.
Yeah.
The laughing makes sense. I'm not even defending it as a... I'm sure Elio may. I'm not defending it as a writing choice or as like a voice direction choice.
Oh,
but I'm
defending the shit out of it because... See, my problem is, when was the last time you actually watched that scene, Niniri? Out of curiosity.
3 or 4 years ago.
Because in that scene, they demonstrate actual laughter as well.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, you know.
I think they just took it a little too far with the voice direction. Like, tone it down just a tiny bit more.
No.
Help me out here, chat.
Oh my god. I adore that scene for the fact that it is one person refusing to accept the world as it is, and another person not able to meet that until that person breaks them out of shell forcibly by being over the top. I love that. And maybe that's just because that's me in general. Maybe that's just because it's how I function.
Absolutely. I like what they were going for, and I think if they just got a little bit more reserved with it, but done the same thing, it would have worked better.
Yeah, to me, if they reserved it, it would no longer have the power.
I think that's fair.
But I feel you. Because they also just juxtapose such a natural moment right afterwards.
Yeah.
And that juxtaposition of, like, caricature and then naturalness is what works for me. The stream struck me as, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Yeah, to an extent. Yeah. I love that whoever this is just, like, fucking with us. Do you promise never to pull on something like that again? Willing to admit you were wrong to leave without me. Come on, get up here.
For God's sake.
That's definitely true, AC, and that's true throughout 10 and every other representation of Titus. Sorry, Titus. Ferris! I don't know why I was doing this voice. Let me switch back into my more normal voice.
Which one of you decided to maroon me back there?
Crouch just points at parts. Oh, I love the charm in this game.
Who cares? Try it again and I'll swing you from a yard arm. Kryle's
But
pretty fun dynamic with Titus has evolved very quickly.
wait, you mean with Bart's?
Oh yeah, sorry. I've been thinking about Titus too much. Everything. Yeah, with Bards.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But what happened? Why'd you come after us?
I'm just not cut out for being a princess, I'm afraid. Pirating's much more my style. Oh?
Ouch. What's wrong? Owie, I think I got a splinter. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna come back.
Ferris joined the party. Fucking Boko. I also love the idea. Like, can you imagine a 3D remake if, like, Boko joined your party as, like, a guest party member for...
Yeah, like the dog from
What?
from what's it? Yeah.
13, Red 13.
No, oh yeah, actually, yeah. If they run him like Red 13 from 7 remake, that would be cool. I was thinking the dog from 15.
Oh, Torgal?
Yeah.
You mean 16? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you see what the new mount?
Is it a toggle moment?
Yeah, they're making for the events Torgal mount.
You know what? That makes sense. That. I think we said that is the amount that would make the most sense when we were discussing it in stream.
Yeah. And the fight is like it's like the 15 event where you fight Ifrit.
Right.
Boko, I think this is gonna be a little too dangerous for chocobos. You stay here, okay?
A toggle puppy minion.
No. Torgal Bubba Minion, yeah, and Clive outfit.
I'm starting to get a little bit done with the modern looking outfits in 14.
Have you looked at some of the PvP ones?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Some of them more like, and they're not like, they're not like special. You know, you get this from a unusual place. It's like they're starting to come out more and more commonly now, and I'm like, it's starting to burn out.
In defense, look, as someone who doesn't necessarily enjoy the shit out of all of them, I mean, like, I think they look cool, but doesn't necessarily enjoy the like hyper-futurism aesthetic in, you know, a sensibly more fantasy game. One, the amount of stuff that they've done with Alag and other like futuristic outfits since A Realm Reborn has made me more sympathetic. The other thing I would say too is they've always put like Allagan and hyper future stuff in PvP, so it being from PvP actually to me makes sense.
Yeah, it feels too grounded in the hyper future. You know, if you know what I mean, a little bit. Some of the stuff.
I feel you, but it's also brought a lot of people a lot of joy, so I kind of just focus on that.
Yeah, that's.
Guido. Alley-oop. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I suppose you can be helpful after all. The shock of the two worlds merging sent everything topsy-turvy, including me. I'm a bit too old to do much on my back, I rue. Okay, sorry, give me a second. I gotta take off my headset. Plug it in.
He does not. He's too old to be doing missionary.
Wait, what?
He's too old to be doing things on his back. He's had to hang up his garter belt.
What do you mean, worlds merging? I see you're just as slow on the uptake as before. It's an ancient legend, but I never imagined it was true. According to this legend, 1,000 years ago, Bart's world and Kryle's world were one and the same. The same? It seems there's quite the echo in here. But why did the worlds split? To seal the void. The void? I fear no matter how often I allude to your ignorance, my dry wit just goes over your head, so I will simply explain. I feel a lot of Ray in that line. 1,000 years ago, there existed Enuo, a presence of the strongest evil. Enuo created the void and possessed the power to control it. After a long and harrowing battle, the people were able to defeat Enuo, using the 12 legendary weapons. However, the void could not be erased. As a last resort, the people split the crystals in two. To maintain balance, the world was split into two as well. The void was sealed within the space between the two worlds, a place called the Interdimensional Rift. That means Exdeath was telling the truth. He really did want to return the world to how it used to be. However, without the crystals, the wind's power will never return, nor will that of the earth or fire or water.
This is a familiar story beat.
Ouch! Oh, this splinter really hurts.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. That was a little bullshit. I wanted a little bit more setup than that.
No, it's an extra splinter. Don't be silly.
Cause like, if they had said that, if she had said like, ouch, while they were in the throne room.
Yeah.
And then like, it's getting worse as we walked in, and then that happened here, then it's like, okay, at least rule of 3. But this was just like, right before we walked in.
It's so goofy
Exdeath.
that it's cute, though.
I've turned myself into a tiny splinter waiting for just this moment.
Why? Why was that your plan?
Now you can understand my true goal, to take the sealed power of the void for my own.
What?
Why do you think I merged the worlds together?
Music still slaps though.
Yeah, it does. We've had this a few times, I think, haven't we? But yeah,
Mhm,
it
yeah.
absolutely slaps. I like how one of Ex's canonical powers is that he can turn himself into a really small splint.
I mean, he is a tree.
Yeah.
Oh. Now that the two worlds are one, the interdimensional rift is emerging, along with the void that was sealed within it.
Wait, slow down. Are you saying that this void, whatever it is coming here?
Yes, the void shall be released from its 1,000-year prison and into my keeping. The matchless power of the void will be mine.
Not a chance, X-Death.
Damn.
Bards, don't pull Galuf.
Oh, no, Guido.
Castle Tycoon.
Lena.
Oh, that's an interesting point, AC. Yeah, the light pierced the darkness and split the world asunder. Although, interestingly, like, I feel like the void isn't even necessarily super coded as dark. It's just, it's something else. It's something between.
I think this is definitely the seed from which our general cosmology grew, this story.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot more of 14's initial cosmology and ideas are attributed to 5 than people realize. I mean,
Yeah.
even like the soul crystals in 5 are clearly the, you know,
The same thing.
initial
basically,
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I didn't realize anywhere near how much.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, isn't it beautiful? Gaze upon the unlimited power of the void. Watch as it engulfs all in its path. Soon it will belong to me.
Lena, X-Death, you.
Bitch, please.
Is Guido okay?
I mean, he's a turtle. I'm sure it was fine.
What if he's a tortoise and he just like has
Ooh.
incorrectly informed us?
Peons and tortoises tremble before my might.
Work.
I'll enjoy turning you inside out.
Ooh.
Die.
Okay, Daddy.
Turtle.
Oh,
What?
shit.
This would look so cool in 3D.
Fucking Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Guido over here.
I really want to see this
Not
scene.
bad.
Right?
Not bad for a reptile.
You think I sat around 7 centuries munching on pizza? Like them
Okay.
there Ninja Turtles?
Okay.
Perhaps you should have taken the chance. You shall find no such tasty diversions in the afterlife.
I like that line. It's stupid, but I like it.
It's so like 5 stupid though. It's not like 3 stupid or something.
Yeah. Like 5 definitely has a very specific brand of stupid.
Yes.
Aw, shit.
Peons, tremble before my might.
Wait, I just said that. Oh, he blue-shelled X. Good call, lady. Oh, my aching shell. Guido, you okay?
P.
X-Death, that cur. He must be stopped before he obtains the full power of the void, or... Hmm? By Jove, what's that? Just the Library of the Ancients. The Library of the Ancients? My dear boy, have you any idea what an important place that is? Oh, of course you don't. To think that the Library of the Ancients was here the whole time. Follow close, children. Within the library is a book that will tell us how to defeat X-Death.
If you'd
That's
left
convenient. I
your
wish there had been more
cave, Guido.
I wish that there had been like some reference about the librarians of the ancients having that kind of knowledge. Or maybe they did. I just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Sage Guido. Oh ho, scholars from the Surrogate. We've found the second half of the sealed tome. Perfect.
Well, I guess they set up the sealed tome and then it being incomplete previously. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I need to watch
I'll
Castlevania
take it.
Nocturne AC. I want to watch it soon.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either yet. I gotta get to it.
But I do know about the full Cardinal Beast stuff, yeah.
Now, let us begin the strategy meeting. As you have probably noticed, the two worlds have recombined into one. Furthermore, the Void is trying to break free from where it has been sealed within the rift. Then we better hurry there and stop it. You know what? I hadn't realized this, and I usually, whenever I talked about 5, I don't think other people point this out. The game does delineate between the interdimensional rift and the Void being separate things.
Yeah, it does.
Which is important in 14 as they're separate things.
Yeah.
Don't be so headstrong, lad. Along with the Void, many fearsome monsters were also sealed in the rift a millennium ago. They're all unimaginably evil and incredibly strong. I feel safe in saying that as you are now, you kids won't stand a chance. Then what do we do? Elementary, my dear Barts. Use the legendary weapons that helped defeat Unyor 1,000 years ago. Legendary weapons? Sometimes I wonder if you say things like this to spite me. Yes, the 12 legendary weapons. They are weapons. They are legendary. There are even 12 of them. I kind of love Guido's being done with us.
Guido's fantastic.
Now that we have both halves of the sealed tome, if all goes according to legend, and I'm certain it will, the book will show us the way. What's this about finding a halo? The book! The book! It is written when nothing's power again does speak. To warriors of light this book shall speak. The book begins to speak.
Following Enuo's defeat, the weapons of legend were sealed within Castle Kuza. To break the seals, the 4 tablets must be assembled. One rests alongside spirits of the past, blessed by the soil. One rests within an island shrine, kissed by the wind. One rests beneath the ocean's floor, engulfed by flames. One rests beyond the river's torrents, protected by water. These 4 tablets are the key that will break the seal, but standing guard beside them are our servants. If the tablets are moved, our servants will awaken. The ultimate spells of white and black, the magic of time and space, Meteor, the ruler of the seas, Leviathan, and Bahamut, king of dragons. Present this book before each gate, and the way to the seals will be opened. Received sealed tome. Go, unseal the 12 legendary weapons before Exdeath gains the power of the Void. We're all counting on you. The first tablet, blessed by the soil and the spirits of the past. Eureka! It must be the pyramid in the desert of shifting sands. Ferris, Krile, and even you, Barts. You must go at once. The future of the world depends on it. Looks like it's time for Legends of the Hidden Temple, baby.
AC, Europe had, Western Europe specifically, had pretty profound trade links with China from the 16th century onwards, like direct ones. So it's, I mean, it's fine. It's a Netflix animated series. I don't expect the most groundedness in it.
I mean,
I love
Castlevania has always taken from multiple cultures, so like that's, is that what's up?
It's about so one of the characters in Maria from the Nocturne games, she uses like the black turtle and the red bird, and so like she uses like the Chinese
the cardinals,
cardinal beasts as magic, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Well, yeah, what would be wrong with that?
It's because she's in Western France, I think AC was saying, and I was like, yeah, but it's whatever. That's set in, like,
but when they've had
18th century.
Japanese characters, they use Western things, and Western things have used Japanese things. I mean, it's always been a mishmash.
Yeah.
Like, Castlevania has always, since the very first game, been a mishmash of, like, Frankenstein and Shinto monsters and Buddhist monsters, and, like it's, you know...
Yeah.
Medusa, and, like...
I mean, the Belmonts have in the Netflix series, are, like, even back in the 15th century, back in the old series, they had traveled, like, you know, as far as India, I think, canonically. So, and India has been trading with China directly for about 2,000-3,000 years. So, yeah.
There you go. Are the sealed tomes where they got the idea of the twin grimoire for the Levier twins? Maybe. That's an interesting thing. But yeah, the idea of the 2 grimoires that fuse together in order to make the one tome. Yeah, possibly. I love Guido. Yeah, me too, Ray.
Guido's a bit of a standout, like a shadow, dark horse. He's a bit of a shadow that like sneaks up on you and turns out to be way better than you expected he would be.
I mean, AC, there was a black samurai. Cross, like, cultural trade and travel has been, like, especially what France in the, like, what, 1700s?
Yeah, it's the 1700s.
Like,
yeah.
there had, like, much, like, goods from China had made their way into Europe well before that, so...
Yeah.
I mean, how, like, Marco
had
Polo.
a trade treaty in, like, 1530 or something, so... I mean,
yeah.
Yasuke...
So I don't think...
Yasuke arrived there in the 16th century in Japan, so... Yeah, and
I'd have to watch it, but I'd have to watch it, AC. But I think I would give more credence, and then also even if it is grounded, again, still they've always mishmashed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Yasuke, if a samurai from Africa can end up there like 200 years before this, then yeah.
And then also separate people discover the same things. So like for instance, it's worth remembering in Castlevania's world, a lot of creatures don't exist just because of cultural mythos or belief. It's that they exist, and then there are myths and beliefs around them. So a character being able to, you know, there are multiple characters who create the same type of the spirit forging or whatever it's called, with like Isaac and Hector, and plenty of people from different backgrounds come up with the same skills and abilities.
Yeah.
I would say don't reach too hard to disprove when it doesn't necessarily run counter to the series as a whole, I guess what I would say.
Yeah. Also, Maria's revolutionary, I think, in the Netflix show. So she was like, you know, like the revolutionaries were international sort of intellectuals, the leaders of the movement, and military people who'd been around Asia. So, not East Asia, but still.
Yeah. Hey, Crip, congratulations. You got the final mount from the Final EX trial. The Final EX trial is a lot of fun. I like that fight. I hear that apparently Party Finder really has a hard time with meteors, which is interesting to me.
Just Party Finder. It's classic Party Finder.
Yeah, but the meteors mechanic is so easy. It's literally just, okay, like stand in order, but not even like it's yeah, I don't know. Like if you don't set up like, okay, what's your spot beforehand, sure, and you're just winging it, yeah, I can understand why that'd be hard, but like you don't have to like look up strats to figure out maybe we should like, it's a very intuitive thing to like come up with the solution for.
Well, there's also the fact that you've been trained on meteors through like several fights previously. Even if it's slightly different.
Fair. Devil Forging, yeah, it's a very unique practice as for Maria. I mean, you say it's unique, but people from two very disparate cultures both came up with it. So, as for me, I'm not against her powers, just not sure how she learned it. I'm trying to figure out how.
Well, okay, I've done a little looking up. So her mother is a Russian speaker, so she was a nomad from Russia. Russia had contact with Mongolia in this era. The Mongolians
and there's a
also
lot
had,
of like...
Yeah.
Dude, the line between Eastern Europe and Western Asia and like where like cultures blur and blend there is huge, so...
Yeah.
I mean, think about it as if it was passed down the family line for hundreds, if not thousands of years as well. Like,
yeah. I mean, the speakers are like somewhat coded as Romani, and the Romani come from India, so
there you go. Yeah, I mean, like Sypha and her people are for sure coded that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Maria's mother is a speaker.
Ah, there you go. I had 2 farming parties today, one full of mentors who kept getting hit by everything inflamed, everyone else, and one very good with whom I did 5 runs without problem. Yeah. It's... Party Finder's wild, man. Okay. So, Naniri, how much longer you got? Just because I'm debating, like, starting to go towards... head west. Okay, here. Let's go.
I think we can have, like, a go, but, like, I don't want to commit to anything too big. But we can like have a meander over, find our next point before the next big thing, and then start before that.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we can't get the airship yet. That's fine. Some new enemies along with some enemies you have got met before the end of the world. I'm just seeing what the next bit are. Enemies definitely all got harder in the overworld.
Yeah. I like that as a fusion. It almost feels like the sort of an etheric density increase, you know, from if you were to somehow, I don't know,
Have reflections rejoined.
Yeah, there have always been questions around how that might work with reflections and stuff, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Also, I want to say that I love the final boss of Castlevania Season 4. Really love the delivery of the dialogue. Hilarious.
Oh god, Death.
I like Death. My problem is I feel like Season 4 should have been Season 5.
Yeah, you feel like there should have been set up for it?
Yeah, I feel like there was more to be done.
We could have had a Camilla season, right? And then...
Right. We could have had a more all-out war season.
Yeah. I'm not as critical of his dialogue as some people are. Like, some people are like, oh, he's British.
Isn't it Malcolm McDowell?
Is it? Is that who does it? But it's very like Cockney. It's a little bit too much for me.
I love that. I love that Death is like a shit-eating, like foul-mouth spewing Cockney. Like, I love that about, like, I appreciate that so much more. It makes me like, as a character, it's so much more memorable.
I wish they'd put a filter over it, maybe, to make it, like, to differentiate between his vampire form and his death form, though. Like, just a little.
Maybe. But also, you have to remember, I live in America, so any British accent sounds at least a little bit like there's a filter over it, just because. The Guardian Tree.
The forest is beginning to come back to life. After we burned it.
Grandpa, why can't Grandpa come back to life? Because people aren't trees.
Lana, Papa.
So many lives have been lost. We must stop X-Death. The people of this world need us. No, not only the people, but all life.
Aye, too many sacrifices have been made already. I won't stand by while more lives are lost.
Let's go. We have a world to protect. I like it. This is good. Gotcha. Have a good one, lady. Since the YouTuber should actually obviously say like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Ray Ray. And boop that like button. Boop it now. Isaac had the best character development show. Pleasantly surprised, but Death was parading around as an old English Cockney guy. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is Isaac. I feel like Isaac was one of the only characters. I feel like every character had a ton of awesome development.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would love a character or like a season where, for instance, the 4 vampire, queens, for lack of a better way of putting it, had more and like more time with Hector and Lenore.
Yeah.
And that dynamic being able to build before it ends the way it does.
Yeah.
Because I like the ending. I just wish there was more leading up to it.
Yeah, but he doesn't sound like he's cold, uncaring, and gruesome, is he? He sounds like he's trying to sell me fish.
It's true.
It's because I'm British.
The sand currents have stopped. Oh, thank God. I guess now that both the earth crystals have shattered, there's not enough power for it to move. The
land itself has grown weaker.
It would be, you know what I feel like the equivalent would be? It would be if like they had made him have a like really strong Brooklyn accent for like Americans.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, I love this, but also this is also a little silly.
Yeah, it's like I like what they're doing with it, and I liked it when it was a vampire, but it's taking me out a little bit to see Death speak like.
Oi, I'm Death. Fuck you, mate. I don't know what I'm even trying to do. I'm trying to like just like give an example of like how ridiculous it might sound.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a written rule. Death is always prim and proper. Sometimes it's cold and caring and gruesome. Yeah, I totally agree. And I even like the idea that the Death is workmanlike. Like that he's calculating but also workmanlike. I think that's fun. but it is a choice.
I agree that Isaac had a really fantastic development, but I also feel like he would have benefited from it, like an extra season, like Elliot was saying, like a season of the Austrian vampire ladies and of, a little bit more Cypher and stuff, and then
here's what it is. Here's what I think it is. Season 1 and 2 feel like kind of like their own story that do have setup for going forward. 3 is a season about resetting from the beginning, like a little bit about resetting, and it's like a first act setting up. And the 4th season feels like a grand finale. So it feels like there's a middle arc that's missing between them. Because 3 is slow, and 4 like go, like just fucking
And Isaac's arc sets up
Speeds
some really
along.
cool, like that old lady witch, who
Yep.
sends him to fight the next. That whole thing could have been fleshed out. Like that could have taken like 5 episodes. I feel
Yeah.
instead of 1.
Although the montage for him charging the tower is pretty freaking
The
awesome.
tower stuff's awesome, and that could have been an episode. But like, I feel like the witch was set like they were setting something up with her and then didn't deliver. I haven't seen the Nocturne, but
Yeah. It feels like there were places for it to go that the show could have gone itself, and maybe Nocturne will go.
yeah, I'm sure it's possible.
Okay, so once we go into that cave, I believe. Here, let me see. Let me see. So Pyramid of Moor dungeon says that it's a very long dungeon.
The character work in the show is definitely better than the old. I suppose that Isaac and what's aren't really based on that older game, but still.
I mean, they are in name and just about nothing else.
Yeah.
Like the versions of Isaac and Hector in the game are just wildly different.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I
that
also want to be
game-
very clear.
That game's not all that old, is it? It's like, well, I guess it is now. It's like 20 years old.
Castle.
It's a PS2 game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or PS1?
I thought it was PS3.
Well, definitely not that old then.
I mean, you say that, but that's almost that could be 15 years plus old.
Amen.
Yeah, Castlevania Curse of Darkness came out PlayStation 2. It's almost 20 years old.
Jesus. Okay, so that it is old then.
I mean, Naniri, I want you to remember what I'm about to say and let it seep into your bones. Final Fantasy 13 is 15 years old.
Oh my god, stop it.
Like, hold on to that. Like, embrace that. You can't let it go.
How old is 7? It is.
Have a berry. Should have a berry. 7 is 97, so it's 26 years.
Yeah, 26 years old. As old as me.
Yep. Wild. Yeah, something has a little terrible background. Yeah, the games are not always spectacularly written. Or they're usually not spectacularly written.
Yeah.
When do we get Lena back? Do we get...
Yeah, we do get Lana back eventually. I'm kind of desperate for her back, actually. Faris is healing this guy every time she hits him.
When do you get Lena back? F5. Once you beat the area and return to the same forest. Okay, so we have to beat this dungeon. So question, we've been struggling a bit, so I think it might be time to start doing some farming, especially because I haven't been farming the past couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe we should just call it here, because I'll have to do some of that.
I think that's fair. We'll stop here. We'll do some,
Like-
you'll do some farming, then when we're back together, we can zen and argue our way
Yeah.
through. We'll have some more gold as well.
Yeah, well, because the thing is, like, the game clearly wants you to, like, farm and train now that the worlds have merged.
Yes. It's definitely one of those, like, the level jump type situations.
Lenny was eaten by the void. My condolences. Yep, never coming back. Nom 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 nom. Okay, any final thoughts or final questions from any of you guys, or any all that jazz? Naniri, my friend, how are you doing? I don't know where I was going with this, but I'm just gonna say, like, you excited for next week?
I am excited for next week. Please follow my fan game that I develop exclusively about Guido, the best character in the game.
Let me look real quick. How much do we basically, if I do grind, we basically go through all of the dungeons and get the tomes, and then we're basically going on to straight on to the end. So depending on how fast we clear the dungeons next time.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's possible.
Yeah, we're definitely at I'd say 1 to 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna start calling it here. Thanks for stream. Totally, Kiko. Thanks for joining in, guys. Definitely see you. I'm still figuring out when and how to do Final Fantasy 11, because I also picked up Final Fantasy 11, and just even trying to operate its user interface was like, so I may need to just sit down and spend more time with that. But I don't want to do more streams at the cost of not doing as many videos. Okay. Not that even though I haven't had a lot of videos come out lately, anyways. But with all that said, I've been Elliot Forceron.
And I've been a Neri.
And we will see you all guys next time. Cheers, everybody! Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.